Hello, viewers. It's been a while. I'm your war correspondent, Terran. Sorry it's been a minute since I've gotten back to you. Ever since I was thrown off the cliff face with my cameraman, it's been a bit of a conundrum for us. Everything's been going downhill very, very quickly for us. You get it? It's like falling off a cliff down here. Yeah. I don't think anybody's coming back for me. And my cameraman, he passed away about 4 hours ago. There was also a medic with us. His name was Greg Gathorpe. Unusual name, but pretty cool guy. He helped me to patch up my wounds, which I sustained from falling off a cliff face because of the Cymar's insurrectionist unit. My leg's really not agreeing with me, man. It's just not listening. Oh, my fingers, they look like Cheetos that I just smashed against a brick wall. Woof, man. They really don't feel that pleasant. But, you know what always brought me a little bit of joy, viewers? A little bit of journalism and storytelling. And, one of my favorite types of storytelling is, campfire stories. I always love doing that. Get to sit around and enjoy your buddies and just, you know, share some of the experiences you've had in your lifetime. And if you think about it, isn't journalism just like a campfire? I mean, instead of you sitting around gathered around a campfire or a fireplace, you're sitting there gathered around the TV, and I'm the campfire. The only problem with that, viewers, is sometimes you keep lighting yourself on fire, you're just gonna burn out, and here I am. So my advice to you viewers is don't set yourself on fire to keep those around you warm. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell some stories. I always love doing that. You know what one of my favorite stories is? One of my favorite stories to tell is this one time I was out there with my brother. He calls me up. He's like, "Hey, Terran. Hey, buddy. I've been growing these Carolina Reapers. They're really great. The FDA is still trying to approve them, but you wait till they grow." I'm like, "I don't really care. What are you talking about?" And yeah, he ends up calling me again. He's like, "Hey, Terran, buddy. These things are growing. I got some Miracle Grow up here, and these things are growing plump and fantastic. You should come over here and eat these. You should try them with me." And I'm thinking in my head, what the f*** are you talking about? I'm not gonna try something like that. Now, it's important to understand, at the time, ghost peppers were something very hot. And apparently these Carolina Reapers were supposedly like 2.3 or something like that million Scoville units. I'm not 100% sure how Scoville units work. I'm just going to estimate like a habanero is like 7,000 or 70,000. I don't really know. But the point is that it's hot as hell. And for some reason, there's people out there, viewers, that are trying to, like, smash these horrible things together. Like, this thing is, like a Geneva Convention violation, and this thing's like an edible war crime. Let's just smash these together. And so, that's what these guys are doing. And, finally gets the approval. I don't know who ate those things and were like, yeah, this is safe for human consumption. I have no idea who was in charge of that. It's basically like trying to grab a piece of burning charcoal over there and just slam it into your mouth and be like, wow, this is a delectable treat. Now, I go over there and I'm like, you know what, man? I'll go see the kid. So I go over there and he invites some of his buddies from Basic. And these are big, buff, burly guys, mind you, viewers. And these guys, when they're eating the peppers, they're eating like little slivers. Think of like the tip of your fingernail. Nothing too big, nothing too special. They're just slamming that thing into their mouth, and they're just freaking out. It's like, oh, God, Jesus! It's really, really bizarre to watch them freaking out like they are. But my brother, he tries to come up to me. He's like, hey, man, you should eat this pepper. Come on, it's fine. I'm like, I'm not going to eat something that I've watched you be brought to your knees over eating. My goodness. And, his other buddies keep trying to tell me, like, hey, Terran, you should try this. It's really good. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm watching you eat that thing, and you look like you've just, like, seen God. or the devil. I'm not really sure which. And they kept asking me for a while, but I kept saying no, 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 no. And then eventually, one of his buddy comes up. We'll call him TJ. He comes up and he's like, "Hey man, if you eat that Carolina Reaper, I'll give you $20. And for some reason, my troglodyte brain fired in really quick. The neurons in my brain that thought, "Whew, money? That sounds like a deal for me." And I snatched this pepper up like a cherry tomato, just slammed it in my mouth, and just started chomping. Now, we're going to start getting into the horrible, gruesome details of this story. Now, whenever you cut a pepper open, it's important that you wear rubber gloves and you also core the pepper, get out all those horrible little seeds that are in there. If you don't know about the seeds are basically like these little tiny skittles of pure capsaicin and agony. Those weren't removed. And whenever they were cutting their pieces, they were getting little slivers. They didn't think about that. Now, I slammed this horrible thing into my mouth that kind of looks like a dried raisin. If you can imagine what Palpatine's scrotum looks like if it had a stroke, but it was like red-colored, that's what this pepper looked like. This thing looked like it was fresh, dehydrating itself. That's what it looks like when it's fresh. It looks like it's killing itself, like a raisin. Well, I'm chomping on this horrible, agonizing flavor. I'm trying to be tough about it. I'm trying to be cool in front of my brother's big old buff buddies and friends. And while I'm eating this thing, it's just kind of like, wow, this isn't that bad at all. Obviously, it is a pepper, viewers, and it does keep kind of rolling up, but I just keep trying to play it off like, it's just a pepper, it's nothing, this is fine, it's easy peasy. You guys are, you have no idea what you're talking about. And it started doing this weird effect where it started to kind of snowball effect, started to slowly roll in and roll higher and higher in the Scoville units. And it got pretty hot. Every inhalation of oxygen that I had was like stoking a fire. I started to get to the point where my face and my eyes started to swell. I felt like I was kind of getting the visual palette of Helen Keller, as my hearing also started to muffle as well. My ears swole up, everything started swelling up. I kind of look like a pumpkin, or Jack Horner, if you know what that looks like. But everybody was kind of talking to me for a while as this snowball effect of death was kind of rolling downhill. And they're just trying to say stuff to me. I don't really know what they're saying. It's just kind of like Charlie Brown mumbled language. It's like, and I'm not really sure what they're saying to me. And all I can think about is, why the hell am I deep-throating Satan's right now? This is one of the worst things I've ever done, as it just keeps rising and rising and rising and rising. A very awful experience so far. Now, it's important to note that my brother at the time, he was dating and then married and now divorced a hardcore vegan. And they were living in a small apartment complex, so they didn't really have any milk or bread or ice cream, cream cheese. Really wasn't anything. No crackers, no nothing. So he got this horrifying, awful demon of a pepper and nothing to really kind of help you through it. So there I am, sitting at the bottom of hell, having to walk through the shadow of the valley of death with nothing to guide my hand. I'm dying. It's a horrible experience. I have like a sleep paralysis demon that's trying to take hold of me right now. And my face is melting. Should have worn gloves. I didn't think about that, but there really wasn't much I could do about it. Now, they tried to help me, or at least I think they were trying to pretend to help me. His buddy, TJ, comes over. He's like, "Hey, man, you should drink this water. It'll help you right out real quick." And he just like hands it to me, and I'm like, "Whoa, wow, this will help." Drank that thing. Just, man, that was a horrible, horrible idea. If you don't know what that does, it kind of opens up the pores on your tongue and just lets those roots of fiery hell just go deeper into your tongue. And now it's even everywhere. It's everywhere in my mouth. In my face, it's just dribbling down. It's a horrible experience. It's like gasoline. So, I decide I'm going to lay on the couch and, man, that was not fun. I felt like I was literally melting into the couch. And I've heard lots of stories where people say you start to hallucinate if you have something hot enough. I didn't really believe that was a thing, but it kind of did happen. It's not anything like fancy smancy, like something that you go take out at like some weird back alley, but it was more or less a sensation of fuzziness. Yeah, fuzziness or static. And you kind of got tunnel vision. If you ever look at a light bulb and you look away, you kind of have like these residual colors left over. That's kind of what happened. And man, that was horrible. That lasted about maybe 3.5 hours, and I decided I was going to drive home. And they were like, "Are you okay to drive, buddy?" I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I'm going to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. This is terrible. And so I get in the car and I start driving home. It's only about 10 or 15 minutes, but I still got like really swollen tunnel vision and awfulness. If I would have gotten pulled over by like a police officer or something, they probably would have thought I needed an EpiPen or I'm on some kind of new crazy substance. I'm not sure. But what do you do whenever you're sad, depressed, angry, frustrated, or tired? You go to bed. And so that's what I did. I decided, you know what, I'm going to sleep this off. I can sleep off anything. And so I lay down, and for about 45 minutes I'm able to go to sleep. And then I wake up, and there's like a little burning sensation on the side of my stomach here. And I'm like, whew, that's really weird. And then I lay on the other side. Easy peasy, that's a quick fix. And then the same side over here, just burning sensation. And so I'm like, well, great. So I'm in the mentality now where it's like, well, I don't want this to burn or damage my stomach lining. It's about like almost 5 hours or so since I've eaten this thing. It's not going down. So I'm gonna skip this part if you need to. I'm gonna add a little part in here for you if you want to skip this part, but I'm gonna go into the gruesome details of. So I go back into the bathroom, and you know, I just decide I need to get this thing out of my system. I don't want it to damage my body irreparably. So I go into the bathroom and I go and force it back up, get it out of there. And it's important to think about this for a second. Now, if you take into consideration everything that we've just built up here in the foundation of this tale, what do you think is going to happen if little Terran here gets it right back out? You're right. Now it's even worse, because now I've got stomach acid and this horrifying incendiary white phosphorus all the way up through my esophagus. Just a horrible experience. Now it's everywhere. It's even worse. And now it's even in that little tiny opening in the back of your mouth and the roof of your mouth and nose and everything like that. I ended up curled around the toilet and just cried myself to sleep, and that was great. It's a pretty good time. Now, the next day, I would probably describe it simplistically and sweet, straight to the point. Imagine if you took a blowtorch and then just put it to your... That's what that was like. Now, you want to know what the best part about this whole story was, viewers? Do you remember why I ate this pepper? Yeah, I ate it for $20. I never got that $20. It's crazy how that happens sometimes. So, viewers, battery seems like it's getting low. I might be able to charge it back up. I'll see if I can get it back up again. But hopefully this goes through and gets broadcasted. Maybe somebody will find it and maybe they'll come rescue me. If not, maybe I can get this back up again and I'll tell you some more stories. Alright, viewers. Take care, have a good night, and wish me luck.
And I kept this here at the end of the video because I didn't want to be cliche, but I really do appreciate you sticking by and coming by to listen to what I have to say. And sure, it's only 1K, but that's more than enough for me. I'm just really excited that you seem to enjoy the satire, the comedy, the improv. I love it so much, and it's so exciting that there's other people who enjoy it just like me. Alright, I'll let you go. Thanks for listening.